This week on It's Happening Out.
Over. Did you think I would magically disappear when the clock struck midnight at the end of the month? Pride.
With the new version of Superman, everybody was looking at David Corns, but there were a couple other people.
It's all happening out tonight with your hosts, gay guru Al Ferguson, lesbian activist FayWhat, pansexual leather daddy Elimination, drag queen and comedian Auntie Mame, Latino muscle bear Jonathan Casañas, Gen Z political advocate Max Venning, Gen Z bear and actor Cameron Glass, leadership coach and leather sir Mark Pettitt, Indo-Caribbean artist Trinidadi, Muslim American communications exec Cal Gajraj. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, good evening and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. We're broadcasting live and then we are available on demand. And on demand on Roku, Apple Television, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and of course YouTube and Facebook. It's 9 p.m. It's Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. I'm your host, Al Ferguson. Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, as you know, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate and have some fun with the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbian, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV, AIDS, healthcare, business, social activism, and faith. Help us support our community. So let's have some fun because it's happening out. As you know, TikTok has become the top source of viral content on the internet. You can find anything there from recipes, hot guys, vacation clips, and a new meta competitor. And nothing says vacation like a cruise on Virgin Voyages. Virgin has been an iconic supporter of the LGBTQ plus community and is your number one choice of an LGBTQ plus vacation experience. Value is the word at Virgin, a value they deliver with being an adult-only cruise. Wi-Fi is included, 20 plus eateries included, tips included, and essential drinks, guess what? Included. That's value. And their values are also self-evident. Virgin Voyages fights for equality and the right to be seen and heard and included. So whether an LGBTQ plus cruise charter, Pride Month celebrations that we just finished, or countless sponsorships of our charities and nonprofits, this is why Virgin Voyages is part of our best TikTok of the week. Here's how it works. Each week, we will show you our favorite TikTok video. So our TikTok of the week is Pride Month is Over by user MX Domestic.
Pride Month is over. Did you think I would magically disappear when the clock struck midnight at the end of the month? Pride Month is over. Okay, hi. So I am a grown-ass human that gets to wear whatever he chooses to put on, just like you chose to wear that. No. And if me wearing a unicorn horn and rainbows makes some queer kid on the internet feel safe because people like you make them feel unsafe, I really don't care how you view my ensemble. No, you're discriminating against me. Okay, no, that's not how it works. I am a proud gay man 365 days a year. So I need you to turn right back around and walk back into your life to handle your own shiz, because what I'm doing right here has absolutely nothing to do with you. So yeah, all of this is a you problem and has nothing to do with me.
It has absolutely nothing to do with you. Those are wise words.
I didn't realize that he was like playing the straight character when he's got the little beanie in the.
Oh, that was what that was supposed to be?
Yeah, that's him, yes.
Okay, my bad. Listen, I'm sorry, but Mr. MX Domestic, dude, you are a drunk. I'll see you at the meeting soon. It's okay, baby, okay? You know, so there is a solution, Poppy. Holy shit, he's drunk as hell. Can you notice? He's red as hell. I was like, damn. I feel you, boo.
What step is he in?
Not zero.
No.
Zero. Okay, number one is when you accept and you own up to having an addiction. He's not there yet.
He just outside the trailer. I mean, he just came in from the trailer. You know, I mean, he just telling the road like that redneck you saw. That was totally him. That was him on the Friday and Saturday Unicorn. That was Friday and Saturday.
MX Domestic, to the point of his TikTok. Aren't we glad a little bit secretly that Pride Month is over?
It's awful to say though, but it's true. I'm exhausted of being gay. Like I am exhausted.
I thought Faye's getting ready to read me to film.
No, at all. I feel you, Al. Like it's been quite a month, and you know, because of all these horrible bans, you know, and all these things targeted to our community, I feel like we've had to shine more this Pride season, right? So I haven't said no to any Pride event, from Pride Bingo to Pride shopping to Pride hair. Like I've done it all this month.
What's been great this month? This is how important this month has been with all of the attacks and everything. Faye hasn't used the F word a single time in 30. Oh, wait.
Well, she hasn't said her own name?
I was like, what?
Before we leave the dock with TikTok, let's think about the best place to make your next MX Domestic video, a Virgin Voyages cruise.
Come on, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Love will be easy because of like my dream. Red, gold, and green. Red, gold, and green.
Well, thank you, Virgin Voyages. All right, who needs a shot?
Me.
All right, Pride Month's over, so we haven't drank much this last month. We need shots. Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. I'm going to make 4 statements, and if the hosts agree, they take a shot. I'd Swallow That is sponsored by the LGBTQ plus community's favorite spirit brand, and that, of course, is Bacardi. Bacardi is the world's most loved rum brand. Bacardi is as diverse as our LGBTQ plus community is. Our neighbors right here in South Florida, they are the world's largest privately held spirits company. Bacardi is also a legacy name in their support of the LGBTQ community with sponsorships, pride embracements, and a deep and passionate support for our LGBTQ plus communities, charities, and causes. And that's why tonight It's Happening Out plays I'd Swallow That with our favorite rum drink, Bacardi. All right, here we go. Question 1. When it comes to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he has a knack of displaying hatred and discriminating against the LGBTQ plus community. DeSantis has recently signed several bills that targeted the LGBTQ plus community, especially individuals of the transgender experiences. Those bills took effect on July 1st. Happy 4th of July. Question 1. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. It may not be June anymore, but we need to be louder and prouder all year long, especially in Florida. Cheers. We all agree with that?
Yes. Cheers. Agreed.
Yeah. How, please, somebody give me the science on how Faye could be any louder.
Honestly, that's where I was going to take it. I was like, I don't know how else to be louder. We have Faye on our side.
We were at the We the People March, and Faye asked me to hold her microphone. I was like, why do you need this? God has given you an internal megaphone, yet you need this extra.
That got rained on, and I effed it up. Right there. I was like, shit. All right, so then I just started screaming loud.
I was hoping you were going to get electrocuted by that.
Nice.
It just did not work.
Wow.
You had a micro
So
bullhorn.
you were hoping that
I had a horn. I had a bullhorn.
Yeah.
And it got wet. Go figure.
No,
you know?
I didn't
So
hope
did
for
you.
that. If I hoped for something catastrophic to happen like that, it wouldn't be as gentle as electric.
Oh, you want a whole house to fall down.
Damn, Wicked.
I've seen that before.
Damn,
right?
Wicked.
Right, exactly.
No, but like Mark said, the We the People March was on Sunday, and over 3,000 people showed up, and incredible organizations representing LGBTQ+, but also Black, but also women, but also undocumented. Like, everybody was represented, and it was such an important day. It poured on us, but it got us inspired. We're exhausted. Pride Month was long, but just like you said, Al, now the work really starts. Now we really have to show that we're here. We showed up, we suited up, and we showed up, and now we need to get the work going.
And so it's almost like, gays, we in danger, y'all, because DeSantis is like, he's just coming.
Just quote Ghost.
Yeah. He's coming.
Girl, you in danger.
It doesn't matter which alphabet. It doesn't matter. He's all targeting. And so we gotta get together. We gotta get louder. You said make it fun, honey. I'm trying to give you some. I'm trying to give it to you. But at the end of the day, we have to get louder. We gotta get stronger. We gotta embrace all of the avenues, because if not,
we had some good news. Sorry, we had some good news, right? Like they overturned some of these,
a little asterisk here.
Yes.
Judges are staying a lot of what the supermajority passed in Tallahassee. Federal judges outside of state courts, federal courts, drag two of the trans initiatives, have been stayed, meaning they're unenforceable as they hear more about the constitutionality of them. It's a very good sign.
Yes.
We should celebrate the
absolutely. Celebrate the little, but that's all. Yeah, celebrate the little.
I think events like this that really bring together the different groups are probably the most important kind of events. When you look at that last law that was just signed that said that any health provider can
refuse,
quote, may refuse to provide care to patients if doing so would violate their conscience, is so open. That could apply to a person's political beliefs. It could refer to their status as a disabled person. It could be LGBTQ. We have to come together because we are fighting the same fight.
The one thing that we can say today at the beginning of July that we couldn't say in January before we were leading into session in Florida and Tennessee and Texas and other places, because it's really all the same, is their vagueness, everyone has said, was the genius of the laws that they've passed. But their vagueness may be the Achilles heel that federal courts kill them on for equal protection under the law. So we'll watch it closely. And the last thing that should make you all shudder is the number 18. We're here on the 5th of July. That means we are exactly 18 months, that we have 18 months to endure what's going to happen until November of 2024.
And you saw DeSantis' new video, how horrible it is?
Horrible.
Folks, don't watch it. Just don't even put yourself through it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next. Most of It's Happening Out's anchors celebrated their Pride Month with a little bit of traveling, fun, music, and different kinds of parades. Faye and Cal were in Costa Rica, in San Jose. Jonathan was in that tiny little town.
That tiny little town.
New York City.
Right. And I was in the parade riding the float with Miss Columbia with about a bazillion LGBTQ plus Colombian stars for Medellin, and it's pronounced Medellin.
Thank you. I was trying to tell you before I sent you off.
Yes, I was in Medellin for Medellin Pride.
So how did you learn how to say that?
Yeah.
Slowly.
What was in your mouth at the time?
Intentionally. Didn't work that way. It was the other way. All right. So we want to hear about what everybody's experiences were. So question 2. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. It seems like most of the cast was out of town recently. I, for one, am glad to be home. Oh, no.
I don't know about y'all. I was working the entire time. I had 2 jobs on the day of Pride in Stonewall Pride at Wilton Manor.
Isn't that cute?
I had
Gen Z problem.
I know.
I know.
Yeah.
Gotta pay my bills. You gotta pay bills, girl. Covered.
Right.
It's like
you and everybody else, Cameron.
While you were out of town, Wilton Manors was sad, Al. All these little cute, hot twinks walking around just going, Daddy Al. Daddy Al. And you were nowhere. I mean, the tears coming down their faces.
Well, I saw a lot of that in Cuba.
Where? Oh my gosh!
Saw a lot of Cuban
boys crying in your presence.
So we did make an agreement though that how we say Bacardi is how moving forward. So your mayonnaise way has now been taken off the table, and is now
Way of saying Bacardi.
it's Bacardi.
Bacardi.
Okay.
Costa Rica was incredible. Okay, I had never been, and most people go to Jaco, most people go to the beach side. This was being in the city of San Jose, right?
In the valley.
In the valley, not the prettiest, but the people were amazing, and they were so welcoming, and the food was freaking delicious.
Wait, let's do a little quick check off. Did you go to the Opera House?
No,
Did you go to Arenal Volcano?
no.
Did you go and see the crocodiles in Manuel
Fuck
Antonio?
no. No.
We have
What did
We have
you do
those
in
here.
Costa
Did you make 1.2 million gay
Friends.
people super
Yes,
happy?
I made 1.5 million people so
I'm
happy.
surprised your ass even came back. If
was-
I would go somewhere and there were 1.2 million fans in front of me, I'd be selling the house.
And she'd offer them all papers to come back.
Oh, that's what I said on stage, okay? That's what I said. I go, okay, I'm still learning my Spanish, so I'm looking for a novia. And I go, oh, wait a minute, my Spanish is still bad. I'm looking for a wife to go back to the U.S. Everybody.
Yeah.
K1 visa, K1
So then
visa.
security had to hold the girls off because they were coming backstage like, okay, let's go. I got my papers ready. Vamos, nos fuimos, pura vida.
That's great. A lot of people might not know, Faye has learned, Costa Rica is the most literate country in the Western Hemisphere. Highest rate of literacy of educated population of the entire Western Hemisphere, including the United States,
Really?
including Canada.
Wow.
Most educated. And it's one of the oldest democracies in the Western Hemisphere. It's an incredible place. Incredible.
Well, the clubs were great. The gay community was amazing. Again, 1.2 million. But what was really drastically different was the amount of allies that were out. It was not 1.2 million LGBTQ. It was their allies, their family, their friends. And so many people with shirts. I'm proud of my son. I'm proud of this. I'm proud of that. And I was just like, I loved it. It was just such a beautiful experience. It really was. I really hope I get to go back.
One last thing about Medellin and riding in the parade. We're going to show a lot of video of it. It's going to shock you. Not to be negative about American Pride festivals, but the stuff that we've gone through and talking about some of our prides here in South Florida and the clouds that DeSantis has put over our prides. I don't know the combination of seeing those things and being so fresh in Medellin, but I went to a community where trans was one of the principal themes, and I have never in my entire life never seen as much trans embracement as I saw in Medellin. The floats and the signs are done in pink, blue, and white to honor the trans community. The parade itself has like 50 flatbed trucks that are built into floats, and then in between them, they have like 3,000 people marching between them. In total, 90,000 people marched in the parade. And what was amazing is all of the flatbeds have a DJ, and lots of famous DJs too, where they're playing music, and the people walk along the sides of the floats and behind the floats and in front of the floats. And so you hear music. The parade was 4 hours long. You hear music 100% of the time, and whether the music's in Spanish or it's American classics, everyone sings the entire time.
With no accent. Isn't that crazy, right? Like you go to a place like this and there's no Spanish accent. They're singing it like Gaga.
I hear Waiting for Tonight and 5,000 people singing it just around me. It was just an incredible.
But the work that you got done does look good, though.
Yeah. We're making a joke about what?
Oh, that.
I don't think it lost your money, Baba.
That was the joke.
A lot of fun. Haters to the left. Next, we just talked about some fun stuff that we have done. Do you need a gay summer vacation and perhaps some ideas to have fun and a fabulous time this year? We have some lesser known LGBTQ plus friendly summer getaways that you can consider, like Sitges in Spain or Tuscany in Italy for the wine and the ice creams and, the gorgeous Tuscan men. Perhaps Split in Croatia on the Dalmatian coast for sailing trips, or of course, where our gal pal Athena Dion is at right now in Mykonos in Greece for all of the incredible gay beaches. So question 3, with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Summer in Florida is too hot. I wish I was somewhere cooler.
Sure, why not? I'll take a shot.
Yo, it's hot as shit right now here. If you come to South Florida, it's really, really
We
hot.
landed in Santa Marta on the coast. I had never been. I had been to Cartagena many times, which I love. Santa Marta had a pride march, and people walked in it. No floats, no nothing. They just did a march through the downtown. It was very quaint, and it was cute. Stayed at this beautiful hotel on the beach, and the heat index was like 104. It was just grilling. Then we fly into the mountains where Medellin is, and it's 65 degrees.
Yeah, that's how Costa Rica was. It was freezing.
65 is freezing for you?
It is. Isn't 65 freezing for us now that we live here? It's cold.
It is cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
I got a
definitely cold.
sweater on and it's
65,
90 degrees. So
the beach
yeah.
was 65, I would die. But 65 and
Yeah.
the beach is like 85? Woo!
Yeah, because the water was still warm in
perfect.
Costa Rica.
If you had a wish that could be granted, and it can't be, but if you had a wish, especially for you, and you had to grant, where would you go this summer?
Canada.
Canada, where?
Oh, I don't know.
Canada's a big place.
No, I don't know. You're asking
It's
for a
twice
lot.
the size of the United
but I was
States.
thinking of
I'll
cold
go to
places.
Canada.
I was thinking of cold places. Alaska. Does Alaska have gay people in it?
Alaska has
Yes,
a great.
like 12.
They have a great.
Do they have parties and igloos and shit?
They have a lot of crystal meth. But
So the parties
when
go
in Rome.
forever.
When in Rome, John. When in Rome.
Wait, everybody follow me closely. Any particular place in Canada?
Vancouver.
There is a fun, kinky community up there though, that we can introduce you to. There's a nice
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah.
Vancouver's amazing.
got a lot of lesbians.
I'm not geographically sound.
Yeah.
Like I really am not.
Yeah,
like
no.
I don't know where
No,
the
we
hell I'm
don't.
at most
You're
of the time.
telling me something.
No, I know you've. I've traveled with you. You know I'm not. Okay, I was stuck in the
Faye and
rainforest
I-
in Costa Rica, and I was literally like, I'm gonna die. Like I literally, I'm dying. I'm gonna die. I was by myself. I passed Cal. I left him behind. He was like, I can't believe you didn't come back from me. I'm like, bitch, I have to get out of the rainforest to come back and help you, right? Like
with,
you know.
With that on the table, I probably shouldn't say this, but Faye and I are going to be on the Giza Plateau in Egypt, and
November.
and we're going to be at the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx, and then we're going to the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem.
Oh, that
So
I-
the-
that
So
trip
with
sounds
her
nice.
with her strong geographic understanding, you might as well get your goodbyes out.
He's gonna leave you. He's definitely gonna leave you.
Right.
But the story,
are Kegels.
the story,
As I'm doing them right now, bitch. Yeah.
the story also recognized some of the places we have here, like Friar Island is one of the places that they talked about. You know, I've done some things in those paths. There's wonderful places to do some fun things in the paths.
Sure.
Rehoboth,
Where would you go?
we-
This summer, if I could,
somewhere in South America. I like the heat, so somewhere in South America where I can take off clothes and be in the midst of some heat.
by the
and
way,
some
right
humidity.
now, because they're in the bottom half of the world, South America's in winter.
But I can still be
not
naked
everywhere.
around some. Again, geographically.
beautiful.
But I mean, again, it's the white guy. I got to be the white guy. I gotta get the right side.
Berlin. Berlin's really kinky. Why don't you go to Berlin?
Because that's a normal. Like you can do a normal. There's Folsom Berlin. There's so many different events happening in the fetish community. I have never.
Well,
been.
then shut up.
But I am not.
I can do that.
But I am
anytime.
right. I am not gonna let the adjacent folk talk to me like that. No, it's not.
And Cameron, where would you go?
I'd go somewhere like New York City. Personally, I like a big metropolitan area, somewhere that has distinctive seasonal shifts. And, you know, New York in the summertime, it's not too hot. It doesn't get too cold. It
What?
rains kind of like us.
You know they're having a heat wave right now, right? You know in Jersey it's 103 right now.
I know
You do
they're having
understand that. Do you watch the news, Cameron?
No, I
And you
don't.
got to pick, but you got to pick anything in the world, and you picked New York that you can get to with, you know, $100 on Spirit. Really?
Oh,
I'm cheap. I got
By
it.
the way,
Let's see.
when and now you
Wow.
Faye left her job in,
Oh my
in
God.
radio. She became a travel agent. This is how she counts on them. Are you stupid?
No, you're going here and you're liking it.
So this is the check. We're checking out. Clearly, okay. Now we get it. Right. Now we get it.
Now I
Okay.
understand.
And Mark, where are you going?
Yeah, now I
Where are you
understand why I'm in this chair. It's just to keep y'all separate. I think I would go back to Antarctica. It's one of my favorite places that I've ever been. But I just have
You
to
are
say,
such a name-dropping bitch. I just have to.
Like
oh, do you know Antarctica?
Like you?
Is that a drag queen I have not met?
It totally pisses me off. 147 countries, and I can't say
You couldn't let him finish?
Antarctica.
For real. But no, I do want to say though, like for Gen Z and people who cannot afford to go to some of these really cool places, go camping. Look at something like a sawmill where they have air-conditioned cabins, chilled pool, dance club. You can kind of stay close to.
Did you just really do a commercial for Sawmill? Did you really just do a commercial
Cameron.
for Sawmill here?
It's
Like,
for
really?
Cameron.
Flight on Spirit to New York City than go to Sawmill. Are you kidding me?
Actually, that would be cheaper.
It's.
But yeah, there's
I
close
particularly
ones.
enjoyed what you just said because I was looking at the back of Faye's head, so I could
Which is
see
your
her
favorite
eyes
angle?
rolling up into her head. Camping? Camping?
Like, that's what you're going to pick?
Yeah.
Wow, there's some
and,
judgment
we talked,
happening
And where would
here.
you go?
Probably like Japan or Mykonos or something like that. I do want to do
Or Mykonos, because it's the same thing. The same thing.
Well, because the Mykonos gives you the whole summer vibe. Japan does not, but I still really want to go to Japan. Japan has to be my next. I don't know. It feels like I would. It just feels like I would be lost. Like culturally, it would be a mind
Travel is very hard for non-fluent Americans. No, Japan is very different.
But they would rape you, and you would probably enjoy it.
But you'd be really tall.
By him.
You'd be really tall.
They got a little.
All right. Well, the bottom line is we hope everyone does something very fun this summer. Get out of the house. Get out of the house. All right. Just like the LGBTQ plus community on Wilton Drive, we are taking a lot of shots already. So let's take a momentary break and hear from our sponsor, the Pettitt.
Wow.
Next up, Madonna appears to be on the mend, thank goodness, after being hospitalized for a bacterial infection in New York City. Though she is back home and recovering, it's hard to know how she'll be doing by the late summer. And of course, that's the only thing that's important to LGBT because she's coming here to South Florida. Her new tour celebration is set to start in July with 2 Miami starts, unknown at this point. Question 4. With a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. Madonna's recent health scare has me worried the material girl may soon leave the material plane.
Ay, Dios mío. Wow.
That is written so cold.
It's cold.
Oh my God.
Hateful almost.
Very hateful. Listen, once I heard that Madonna was in a hospital, I was like, somebody find Cher, put her away. You know? Like, oh my God.
Preserve.
Like, seriously, and Dolly Parton. Do you think she had a bacterial infection? I don't think so. I think that sounds like a really nice name for something else that she got.
Uh-oh.
Facelift.
No.
She can't. She has no more skin to lift. So that's not going to happen.
But how do you have all that money and like not go to the doctor when something is wrong? Because she had a low-grade fever for days before she sought medical advice.
That's the story? That's the story they're saying?
Because I do my research for the show and I have tickets coming up. So yes, I am
baby,
like following
honey,
this.
listen, you will get your money back. She's not coming. Just to let you know.
So,
I'm telling you.
or maybe
she's not
deferred,
coming
she
to
might be
Miami. I'm so
delayed.
glad that I wasn't able to buy those tickets because she's not coming, guys. So I mean, I'm sorry
Faye
to tell
is
you.
shading all of us that are going to the concert.
Because you're not. She's not coming, guys. Okay? I'm so sorry.
I'm holding out.
And reading all this and
really
studying,
sorry.
You know.
No, I'm
with Faye.
I'm
Guess what?
not going.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I thought when I read this, all I saw was privileged white folks talking about, oh damn, forget whether or not she's healthy or not. She's not coming. We need to revolt. We need to revolt. Like
while the rest of us got to pay our mortgage. You know what I mean? Like, come on, come on,
right.
come on. I have that kind of money.
$500? Are you up nose?
No, and that was cheap. That was all the way up there. Yeah.
Do we really think that she was sick or what?
Oh, she was really sick.
Yeah, she was sick. Who told you in your camp?
They found her unconscious.
Yeah, she was definitely sick.
Yeah.
And now do you feel bad?
Not at all. I'm just wondering where we're getting this tea from because I don't believe that would leak out like that. Like if she's in some regular hospital.
Exactly. Just like Mark said, if you come on, you can have a whole team around you. Someone's not going to bring in a doctor. I mean, hello. You
And it may give her
all that
fire
money
your
and you're white
assistant.
and you're Madonna.
And it may give her more time, more space to practice and to get her tour together.
And here's why. I've seen Madonna twice. Front row, twice.
Oh, God.
Okay?
And I'm the name
And
dropper.
Right, Mama.
both times she was either 2.5 or 3.5 hours late. When I heard this, I thought, oh, well, she's just setting up the excuse of why she's going to be days late. That's
That's it. She's biding herself some time.
Yeah, she's biding time.
You know, because of Madonna is now that they have that new rule that if you wait 3 hours, you can get your money back on tickets.
Yeah.
And Madonna was the reason that all started.
Yeah, it was.
I'd never heard of that.
You know, the first time when she was so late, and people were so mad. I mean, they booed her when she came on stage. And the first time I think was Miami, or it might have been the second, but I think it was the first time. And the crowd was really angry. And Madonna said, "Shut the fuck up. This is Miami. We are a late city." And
And everybody was like,
Everybody forgot. Everybody forgot Madonna.
Bam!
Love you, Madonna.
We're off.
And,
Oh,
and the submissive energy hit the crowd.
That's exactly right. You're the queen. We wish Madonna the best, of course, and make sure you don't miss the concert
She's not coming.
At all.
before the Material Girl.
No, leaves the material plane.
Wow.
All right, I'd swallow that. Next up, we're going to do a segment we call Best Thing of the Week. Each week at It's Happening Out, we celebrate well, we do that too. Great things in our community. The Best Thing of the Week is sponsored by Israel's national airline, El Al. And I know El Al is really thrilled that I'm back to be able to pronounce the name of the airline.
I didn't say El Al.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
El Al.
All right. All right.
I didn't even notice. That's how
El Al was born in 1948 with the
I'll tell you
state
why.
of Israel and is an expression of national I'm sorry, El Al. I'm just pre-apologize for what's getting ready to happen. Is an expression of national existence and pride. And this pride is self-evident in South Florida. El Al features nonstop service from Miami to one of the world's great LGBTQ plus destinations, and that's Israel. And this fall, El Al will connect the two LGBTQ plus capitals of Tel Aviv and Fort Lauderdale with seasonal service. And then next spring, adding extensive flights. And that's why El Al sponsors the Best Thing of the Week. Okay, here it is. In 2014, Stephen Crawford invited some friends to the beach for a fun time and told them to bring swan floats. And that is how Flockfest was born in 2017 as they started raising money for charities. Flockfest Week is currently going on in Fort Lauderdale, and it will end on July 9th with Flockfest Flamingo Splash at the Courtyard Marriott downtown. It has become one of the best LGBTQ plus week-long beach events in America, and you don't want to miss the upcoming Flockfest Beach Party, the Leather and Feather Ball, Flock the Block Party, and much more. All the details and tickets are available on flockfestevents.org. You would not want to miss any of it. So that's the best thing of the week. Flockfest is this weekend, and I can't wait to get the flock out to the beach. All right, what do we think? Flockfest.
I love
Sir,
Flockfest.
first off, Faye's host.
I'm hosting Saturday. I'm hosting the Flockfest Beach Party on the beach, A1A in Fort Lauderdale, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
That's
I'm also,
Gay 1A.
Gay 1A, yeah. So, and I'm hosting also, I'm judging the best cabana with Mr. Andrew Christian, who we all know and love, right? So that's going to be a lot of fun. But there's like you said, there's a lot of events before then also. I'm actually really interested into the leather and the feathers at Eagle. And I want you to come with me, Mr. Elimination, because, you know, you're leather, I'm feather, and you know, we could be a great combination for that party.
We would be a great combination.
All of a sudden, I feel like that's different. Like
He's feather, I'm leather.
You're leather.
Which I'm okay with too.
Absolutely. We can make that happen.
And we know you got the gear.
I do have.
Oh, I can't wait.
Come on, Mommy Faye.
Beach party. We love being on the beach in July.
No.
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 I like the pre-party. I like the other things like that, but my skin literally breaks out in hives.
Yeah.
It's a condition
you're so
called
sensitive.
PLE.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
sensitive.
I can't.
Well, I know, right? Jonathan and I are going, oh, child.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
child.
my God.
No,
Put
you know,
yourself
he's
in a
like, no, he's
bubble.
like, oh, it's a condition. I'm like, what, wuss?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but then he said there was a condition. I'm sorry. I believe
Yeah,
you. I believe
polymorphic
you.
light eruption, but thanks.
So
Can you ever
Spell that. No, I'm sorry.
I think one of the big things is this is a great way to raise funds. Flockfest is
Yeah.
a 501c3 designed to help other LGBT charities. They raise money. They do all kinds of events all year long. This is the big event. What do we think about organizations like this that are social in nature? They're a social club. It's kind of like a Mardi Gras crew in New Orleans. Flockfest is like, if they were in New Orleans, they would be the crew of Flockfest. And their mission is to raise money and help support other LGBT. What do we think about that?
There's a lot of people that don't want to give money to charity unless they're being entertained for it, right? Unless they're getting something for it. And Flockfest, what they do is they help all these other organizations, but they make it fun. So they'll do a bingo with Daisy Dead Petals, or they'll do something at the Eagle Bar, you know? So, I love that aspect, that it's like, okay, yeah, entertain me. Yeah, I want to play bingo. Yeah, I'm going to give extra money to this organization, you know? And they're able to do that.
They do it even smaller. We went to that Mexican restaurant where they were...
when they were doing the happy hour.
Yeah, the happy hours. I mean, even when it's a smaller scale, I think it's really interesting because I thought the money was going in their pockets, and it's not. It's to support other nonprofits, and that was the only reason why I was actually interested in coming out to these events.
And I do agree. I think that what I appreciate most, and although I've never been to a Flockfest, and so I would be excited to check out the Leather and Feathers event. What I like is that they totally give the money away. Like they work hard to give 100% away to charities around South Florida, which is often important because they also look at small organizations who don't get the funding. You know, they have given to trans organizations, they have given to Black-led organizations, which often get forgotten about. And so that's what I most appreciate. And they do the work to ensure that they support those organizations as well, not just give them money, but actually physically be in their spaces. And I think that's so kudos to them and that committee to making sure that happens.
Yeah, and give a shout out to all the volunteers who help these things happen, because they blow up like 1 million flamingos. Have you seen pictures of this where there's freaking pink flamingos everywhere? I'm like, whose mouth was on all those flamingos?
And they got to pick it up because a lot of people are leaving behind. That was the kind of complaints in the last few years.
What are we
pick
talking
all
about?
this up? All the floats.
And there's somebody, right, with like 18 flamingos in their house, right?
Right. Well, we congratulate Flockfest. It's a great week. We're right in the beginning, middle of it, and we're heading into the weekend. It's going to be amazing. And the most amazing thing is it helps so many people. So a great event. Congratulations to everyone connected with Flockfest. All right, next. Each week at It's Happening Out, we ask our host about what is important to them, but there is a twist. And that twist is that it must be in just 30 seconds or you hear this bell. See how easy that is to ring?
That was weird.
We call this segment What's on Your Mind, and it's sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus pizza of choice. Okay. What's on our mind is the deep dish Detroit-style pizza, or perhaps the cauliflower thin crust. Jets Pizza has been with It's Happening Out for 4 years, and their Bigger is Better campaign captured our attention. And of course, they're talking about their slices. What did you think we were talking about? Jet supports a huge variety of LGBT events and nonprofits with more than 400 locations. I'm going to slow down a little. 400 locations nationwide, and they are considered, frankly, one of the best franchise opportunities in America. And this is why Jet's Pizza is our sponsor for What's on My Mind. All right, so let's begin. Cameron Glass, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind is the word fat.
Ooh.
All the time I hear people say, oh, you're not fat, you're beautiful. I never said I wasn't beautiful. I just said I have fat on my body, baby. This belly is here for a reason. So when I say the word I'm fat, I'm not saying I'm ugly, I'm disgusting. People don't like me because I'm this big. No, fat is a descriptive word. And I want to break that stigma that everybody has fat equals ugly. So I want to talk about the word fat.
Oh, interesting. All
so you just did?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wanted to. No, but I was like, okay, all right. So then we're gonna talk about.
I got 30 seconds.
I'm sorry. No. I got it. PHAT. I'll never call you fat again.
All right. And Mark Pettitt, what's on your mind?
The fat.
Well, now it's fat. It's on my mind. But no, seriously, coming off of 4th of July, I think appreciation is really on my mind. That it can be hard to celebrate your country when so much of the country seems to be against you at this point in time. And being from a military family, I think it's sad when you see freedoms that have been fought for with blood and service being pulled back. But in terms of appreciation, just kind of taking a little bit of a step back, realizing that we are moving in the right direction. And historically, this is the best time in the world to be alive. The best medicine, the best mortality rates, the best communication, the best access to information. So just don't let it all get you down too much and have a little appreciation.
Yeah.
I love that.
Lovely. Yeah. And FayWhat, what is on your mind?
Boobies are on my mind.
Boobies, baby.
Big and small boobies, tatas, melons, Thelma and Louise, whatever you want to call them, right? We all love boobies. That's what I am talking about today. Even gay men love boobies. Is it because they're soft, because they're supple, because you can lay on them, because they, they're just fun? They're fun bags also, right? Yes, they are. And it's okay for you gay boys to love boobies, but don't touch my boobies, okay? We were at the 4th of July celebration yesterday, right? We were at the boat.
Yeah.
And I might have been wearing a dress that only covered sort of part of my boobies. And every single gay boy was like, "Oh, boobies. Oh, boobies. Oh, I love them. Can I put my face on them?"
No.
Yes. And I was like,
missed
Who
this.
does that? Who does
I don't know. You gay boys believe that I belong
might have
to
got
you.
thrown
And I
off the
kind of
boat.
do. I get it. But these are mine. My wife paid for these. That's what's on my mind.
Paid for them after cancer. Right?
Yeah, yes.
That's right.
She fought for him twice.
Yeah, exactly. And John Casañas, what's on your mind?
Right. Wow. I heard something else, but I'm going to keep moving. Appreciation as well as on my mind. To be honest, as you guys know, I went to New York. I had a gig. We were at the Eagle for Megawolf. And kind of, when you do sound check and you think everything's going well and it all collapses. And the microphone didn't work. My performance was pretty shit, but I appreciate everyone who faked it and kept telling me how amazing I was because I know I wasn't great. But honestly, like you say, you have fans. Like I legit have fans that appreciate me and pump me up and send me messages and pictures of how great it was when I know that it wasn't. So thank you.
Friends that lie to you.
Shout out to
But
friends.
you know what's funny about that? Thank God for those friends. I'm in Colombia, and all I saw was all of these great posts about your performance in New York. Until you said this, absolutely true. I had no idea that you had any problems in your performance because every single thing that I saw in you was, gosh, this is great. Watch this. This is great.
Well, all the people who said that also want to fuck you. So there's that.
Like, did you have your
So
shirt
let's
on
be
for this
real.
terrible
Let's be real about
I
it.
did not have my shirt on.
Of course he didn't have his shirt on.
Well,
Just
All
in
right.
case something went bad.
Right? And Elimination, what's on your mind?
Well, missed opportunities. So I met Al maybe about 4 years ago, and he got me confused. He didn't call me Albie Shore. He didn't call me Christopher Williams. He called me Bobby Brown. So none of that. And so I'm leading into a year later. I was invited to do a internet show with 3 drag queens, Daisy Dead Petals, and Nicole Hallowell, and so Al then sees me there having a conversation. Again, he thought Bobby Brown couldn't speak because all he knows is Bobby, and so. Here we are. Here we are 3 years later, and I am celebrating my It's Happening Out anniversary, where I've been a part of this Happening Out family in various ways in a total of 3 years. And so, although he confused me, all black folks don't look alike. He couldn't even find someone close to my pew, to confuse me with. So I'm just happy to say that, thanks to production, thanks to the crazy white guy, to say, production had to keep reminding them who I was, to be invited back and to be at this table and be in this committee and be with this group for 3 years. So that's what's on my mind.
Lovely. I won't even ring the bell. That was a lovely statement. I normally don't do a what's on your mind, but I'm going to do one.
Because I spoke about him, that's why. Yeah, I did. Right.
Because you're still Bobby.
On Sunday, while I was in Medellin, I got robbed and physically attacked. And I haven't talked about it much, but I do want to say one thing about it. It was orchestrated. Somebody came in from the left. I was on a street, and the street was crowded. And somebody came in from the left and punched me in the jaw.
What?
On this side. And somebody came in from the right simultaneously and then gave me a second punch in the jaw. And the person that did the first punch then starts to go down. And I wasn't paying attention to it, got patted down, had my wallet stolen, my phone stolen. Nothing left. And it was quite a moment. Having traveled to 147 countries, it's never happened before. I know security. I know theft risk. It can happen on the street in Atlanta. It can happen in Wilton Manors. It can happen anywhere. So it's not the fact that I was in any particular place, but it is a shocking moment when it does finally really happen to you and there's physical involvement. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to me in that one of the things of learning about the chicken or the egg, people assisted me right away, and I was concerned about my phone in terms of the password being broken because things in my phone were just, incredibly sensitive, and my wallet being stolen, and the
You're in a foreign country.
Financial effects. And it wasn't that like credit cards wouldn't stand behind me, because they would, but the hassle of going through what potentially was getting ready to happen was dire. So within an hour, I was able to correct all of the stuff that was in my wallet and have my phone suspended for 30 days, Verizon, in terms of doing that. Now I've been back for one day, one full day now. And interesting things happen when something like this happens. How do you get a phone if you can't pay by credit card, where you can only buy a new phone by a credit card because you can't pay cash because it's attached to your account and it has to be a credit card? And your credit card won't issue renewals of credit cards unless you have your phone. And so you're caught in a catch-22. My principal card did send a new card, which arrived today, and they sent it to the wrong address. And because they sent it to the wrong address, it sets up a fraud warning automatically, and now I must prove that it is me that didn't get the card in the first place when I have no identification to prove who I am.
You don't have your passport?
I have my passport, but that takes 48 hours for them to approve by sending it in this certain courier way. Blah, blah, blah. So I still have no identification. Last night, coming back from the cruise, I was at Oakland Park and Federal, and I moved into a lane too sharply, and the red lights went on, and the police stopped me on the way home. So it's like karma is trying to tell me something. And I explained to him, wait, I have nothing. And
but you're white, so he let you go, right?
Ooh, I'm glad I didn't say it, but yes, absolutely going.
And went through all of that process. And yes, he was very kind and let me go.
Of course, I'd have been still in the corner.
Right.
Shit, I would have been in jail right now. All right?
I'm still in the corner, like.
That would have been me.
Oh,
you and me were.
If you need money, Mark is also white. I'm sure he.
Well, here's the long story of.
Yeah, that was way more than 30 seconds.
No, for real.
All that ding. He did it on purpose. That we couldn't ding him, like we would feel the heartstrings. Like
that's right. The interesting thing that I'm going through over the last 2 days is something that I normally don't experience. I'm outside my comfort zone, which is I'm fighting, going, God, the world's a really terrible place. That's where I'm at right now, and. It's interesting to me because then when we make the white people, privileged white people jokes, of course they apply, they do. And then when something like this happens, it helps you realize, oh,
perspective.
There's the perspective of the joke. There's the perspective.
Dude, and you don't even have a bruise on you. How the hell is that?
They must have soft punches or something. It was the medicine.
My Colombian brothers could punch.
No. It was the work. It was the work. It bounced. It bounced out. It bounced.
Wow.
That's the most important point.
Wow, we're so glad you're okay.
Absolutely. Yeah,
but at the end of the day, today I'm fighting the humanity of the world sucks. And I realized, God, that's really a terrible perspective because so many people, even with what I've gone through in the last 48 hours, are in way worse situations. And I'm not celebrating that in any way. I'm just saying it provides perspective for me.
I need to get a new black card. Please send me another black card.
They told me today, no, unless you get a phone. You're not getting another one.
So Al, please use that perspective to make the world a better place. Understand that a lot of people who have to do those boost phones and things like that and get nervous when the red lights come on and don't have credit to get those kind of things. I hope I'm sad that you had to experience it, but I'm happy in a way because I as we all have traveled over the weeks, some of the jokes have been, is this Al? And I'm like, no, Al plays a character, but now you have the sensitivity to know that. And then another joke was, is Al the Whoopi? I always describe us as the View on steroids, and they're like, is Al the Whoopi? I'm like, no, he ain't that nice. So now hopefully you'll be able to
Smart. Right. Well, thank you for that. But anyway, interesting perspective of what's going on in my life, and maybe valuable for everyone else. All right. Also on our mind is, of course, the great Jets Pizza.
just.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Well, next, Hotspots Magazine will be celebrating 39 years this fall, and it has been documenting the LGBTQ plus lifestyle and is the inspiration of our Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week. It is sponsored by the Broward Center for Performing Arts. In the LGBTQ plus community, we always make jokes about size matters. And when it comes to Broward Center, size does matter. The Broward Center is the destination of choice for LGBTQ plus South Florida and spectacular entertainment. In a large variety of performance venues, Broward Center ranks among the top 10 most visited theaters in the world, presenting more than 700 performances a year to more than 700,000 patrons. And Broward Center supports one of the world's largest gay communities in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and really all over South Florida. They support that LGBTQ plus community and our nonprofits, unlike any other theater in South Florida. And we're very excited to tell you about the upcoming shows this year at Broward Center. And did you know surveys show that the LGBTQ plus community participates in live theater performances 2.5 times more often than our straight counterparts? And of course, that's why they are the sponsor of Hotspots Queer Entertainment this week. And here we go. After plenty of speculations, it's official. David Corenswet will be replacing Henry Cavill as Superman in James Gunn's Superman Legacy, which is going to be the next movie. Casting for the role of Superman has been contentious, to say the least, with plenty of fans still rallying for Cavill to portray the beloved superhero. Others were rooting for Nicholas Hoult and Tom Brittney, but it is clear that from looking at him that the 29-year-old Corenswet is the perfect pick for the role. He stands at 6'4" with that coiffed dark hair and a chiseled jawline. Everything about Corenswet screams classic Clark Kent. But some diehard Superman fans are worried Corenswet isn't muscular enough to play the superhero. The Hotspots Queer Entertainment is Henry Cavill is out and Superman and David Corenswet is in. He can be our Man of Steel any day. What do y'all think?
I love corn and I love sweat, so I think he's going to work out well.
He's so pretty. He's so pretty. You can overlook that last name.
But didn't we just replace Cavill? Didn't we just replace him? We just had a conversation about on Queer News Tonight about Cavill being the new one, right? So that's like that. He's only lasted a year and he's out.
Yeah. Can you tell the difference between them?
So is it too soon that I'm thinking that he could have used Superman? That this fits the segment fits with the. Is that too soon? Oh, I'm sorry. No. I apologize.
It's just bad joke.
I'm still trying to figure it out, so I'm going to pretend it's why don't we bring Christopher Reeves back? Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
That's too soon.
Is it too soon?
No, it's not.
First off, let me tell you an interesting thing that happened for me today. So I'm looking at this, and I wanted to learn more about him because he looked so familiar, and I couldn't peg him. And then I have just recently, in the last 3 weeks, rewatched Ryan Murphy's Hollywood series, and he played the actor, the wannabe superstar actor that had the girlfriend, fiance that was pregnant. Turns out not to be his. That's who he was. He does a gay sex scene in Ryan Murphy's.
Yes.
That's who he is. And I remember thinking when watching Hollywood, this was long before this, how he is really handsome.
It's just this him still in that picture?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he looks like Superman there for sure.
Yeah, so is it bad that he doesn't have the muscle?
But don't most suits have the muscles?
Doesn't a suit have the muscle?
The muscles of the suit. Didn't George Clooney and Michael Keaton, didn't they have?
Those were Batman.
That's Batman, boo.
I'm saying no, but pause. You missed. No, pause. Go back to the segment. We're talking about the costumes. Roll it back.
Okay.
We're talking about the costumes being built in. So
thinner.
But they have the chisel, right?
Yeah. But they
have steroids.
evolved into more muscular. That's why
Hollywood
Cavill is the most successful Superman of
Absolutely.
all of them, and it's physical.
And they do kind of favor, right?
Awesome.
They do
But
kind of what?
Favor.
it was an interesting situation for me today because the first thing that I realized was when I'm Googling him is, oh wait, this is this guy from Hollywood. And okay, so that was positive. But then I went to Google Images and put in his name, and I'm looking at images, and there's no question he's beautiful, and the hair is beautiful, and the jawline is beautiful. And then I Google imaged his name shirtless, and then I thought, and it
not
changed.
so much.
Well, the thing is, I know they're trying to change all the characters. Like this is throughout the whole franchise, and the Supermans really have been shit. They haven't really gotten great reviews as of late. So maybe the new Superman is a skinny version. I'm not too sure. I don't know in the comics if this is kind of a less beefy.
Is that attractive for you?
No, but, but I mean, he is attractive.
You can't have
Not
Superman
for
without
me.
the curl and the muscles. You
Yeah.
gotta have that.
Yeah.
Well, Christopher Reeves, I was in love with Christopher Reeves. He wasn't that muscular. He was thick.
No, but he was the first Superman I ever saw. So
he was
you
like
know.
Dick Van Dyke thick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You know what's
Cameron's
great about
like,
that
who
joke?
is Dick Van Dyke? Right? Cameron is like, who is? Does he have an OnlyFans? He's like, who is that?
Jonathan aged himself so dramatically in that reference. Dick Van Dyke, 1962.
I used to watch.
But wasn't Henry kind of like known, like he got an opportunity, Justice League, Superman, Wonder Woman, like he was, and then even in Black Adam, like he kind of played that role so well.
Yeah.
So
enough.
he clearly not good enough.
Did he really do it well? Did he? And then especially with that mustache thing that happened where he had to do the reshoot and they had to blur out the mustache.
Did y'all
Oh,
see?
yeah,
did
that
you
was
see
bad.
the last Mission Impossible when Cavill was in it? He played the double. He was the agent.
Yes.
Oh my God! I thought it was one of the best things he ever did.
was
And of
just
course,
there.
the Netflix series. What's it? The Witcher. He's amazing
Yes,
in The
he's
Witcher.
great. He's a great actor.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately Superman failed.
Unfortunately, the new Superman will probably last not even a year. We'll be having this conversation.
Oh,
again.
absolutely,
Mark my
yeah.
words. He just is not. He's kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, you had to Google to find out what the hell he did.
Yeah. I didn't remember.
Well, she's fresh.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You do that.
He's cute as all get out, no question. And by
I give
the
him the
way,
top.
Too soon, Faye.
He's
we're not playing that game.
6'4". He gets almost a pass for that. He's 6'4". That for Superman, that's the kind of thing that you want to represent.
Yeah.
And of course, the suit padding is going to improve that. They could put him in a suit and everybody go, whoo, right?
Like Ben Affleck and
But it'll be again next year.
Who else is next?
Who else?
Yeah.
Where we go from here?
Okay, all right. So we're not so thrilled about Superman.
No.
Nah, corn sweat.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I do like corn and I do like to sweat, so we're okay.
You're a liar.
And I love him.
You didn't hear that joke the first time.
All right. Speaking of hotspots, queer entertainment, here's a quick glimpse of the venues. And I'm giving production plenty of time to cue up the video of part of the Broward Center.
The Broward Center for the Performing Arts, Parker Playhouse, Aventura Arts and Cultural Center, Rose and Alfred Miniachi Performing Arts Center. 4 venues that together bring a wealth of excitement to our community through the performing arts. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts is the center for world-class live entertainment, arts education, special events, dining, and more.
Well, next up, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral. This is the world's largest queer church right here in Fort Lauderdale. And supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at the Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m. every week. Well, next, let's discuss It's Happening Out's Hot Topic this week. It's sponsored by the American retail chain Hot Topic. With nearly 700 locations specializing in counterculture-related clothing and accessories representing many varied interests of the LGBTQ plus community, including music, movies, graphic artists, gaming, and more. Hot Topic features one of the largest collections of Pride merchandise that celebrates all aspects of the LGBTQ plus community. Hot Topic is a major supporter of the diversity of our community and supports many events, festivals, and nonprofit LGBTQ plus organizations. And that is why they are the sponsor of It's Happening Out's Hot Topic. Here we go. CSHB 1521 is entitled the Safety in Private Spaces Act. It criminalizes the act of entering a bathroom or changing facility that does not correspond with a gender assignment to an individual at birth. Changing facilities including dressing rooms, fitting rooms, locker rooms, changing rooms, or shower rooms. Now, James Turcha, say it again. Turcha, who is the first transgender man to win Mr. Ramrod here in Fort Lauderdale and went on to International Mr. Leather, has shared a post on social media that we thought was very interesting. He called on all trans men in South Florida to go to nearby schools and universities and use girls' bathrooms and document in protest to these state laws. This week's hot topic is, are we willing to break the law for our rights? What do we think? First, let's focus on his observation.
Sure.
Trans men go to schools.
I love James, and I think that James is such an incredible human being, and his representation is just so far beyond. And he's a great guy. If you've never talked to James, make it a point to have a conversation with him. He's a great guy. I don't know how this would come across. I think about the little girls, and if I was a little girl in school and a dude came into the bathroom, that might traumatize me, and those are the ones that I'm thinking about are the kids. I get the point. I get the protest. I love it. I'm behind you, but there's something there that doesn't make me feel good. And I don't know what it is.
What you're saying is there's a line in the sand of protest and then stepping across the line that's too much? Is
that's
that what
too
you
much.
mean?
Well, yeah, because you can get arrested for trespassing, or you can get like a sexual criminal charge that will go on your record forever, and then you can't go 30 miles next to a school. So when these situations came up, we talked about this on the show where drag was going to be illegal, then I would dress in drag and walk the streets and get paid for it and see if they could arrest me for it. That I'm down with. I'm definitely down with breaking the law, but I don't want to mess with children or schools.
Yeah, I think you should aim for like a city hall, the library, or a major sporting event where somebody's going to go, hey, he shouldn't
we told
be
you.
in.
We told you.
That interaction is not going to happen at
and so many of us in LGBTQ plus are afraid of children because of all these stories, all these bans, all these things targeted to our community. They're constantly calling us groomers that we don't want to be alone with a kid. I don't know about you guys. I'm a girl and I don't want to be alone with a kid because I'm afraid.
As a gay man, there is no reason that a child should ever be in my house if there are not other people there, because it takes one accusation and your life is over.
I'm going to err on the side of maybe kind of diving more into understanding the goal. And so maybe schools, meaning maybe I would hopefully imagine universities and not necessarily putting someone in situations where you can get locked up, but maybe pushing the envelope of you're telling me this is what you see me as, but this is who I live as, and now this is what you want me to do, and now this is what you're exposing X, Y, and these folks to because of what you say I am versus who I know I am. And so maybe I kind of maybe have to unpack that part. So I don't think that he's going to do it in such a way that anyone would go to jail for pedophilia or go to be on that registry per se. Yeah. But just to make the state house realize that what they're doing is totally wrong to any of our siblings who identify as what they are. The second piece of that is also too, we all, as we answer this question, we look at it from a different set of eyes because we don't live that lived experience where he has. And so in digesting this, I realized that I would not be here at this table, to be very honest, had it not been for someone who pushed the boundaries of whatever it looked like. So meaning going into the restaurants, going into those tables, mixing and mingling and dealing with
rights
just in general, you know, and so to our siblings who may be considering what that looks like for them, hell yeah, you know, if I have to hold the sign while they get in line, absolutely. I might not be able to speak for what that looks like, but I can hold the sign and hold the protection of them if someone comes at them. And so I would think that.
Get arrested for a protest?
I would. I think I would. I know I would because again, I go back to.
That would end your future career.
And it absolutely,
right?
and absolutely, as a black man,
something like that on your record, you are done.
And that's why I say I think that for the right reasons. I've also marched for, so just again, I marched for teachers when I was a teacher that could have ended my teacher career because I wanted extra pay, I wanted time off. So we have to look at the ends of the ends justifying the means. Yeah. Now, if they said to where we all went to going to that particular school, heck no, I'm not. But that university where we can challenge that rule and say, hold on. Let's look at this and let's look what the law says and let's challenge that law. Could we win? That's a possibility.
The issue, I think, in his challenge is you go to Miami-Dade College in downtown Miami, and he, as a trans man, is going into a women's restroom because the state is saying you are female at birth, so therefore use that restroom. He goes in as Mr. Ramrod. In the way he looks in the women's restroom. What do you think about that?
And that's how change happens. That's how change happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, somebody needs to get arrested.
And that's why,
need to get arrested for change to happen.
But the thing is, as a woman, a woman going in and singing that, the first thing is alarm. And then that's how change happens, because then you and your cohort can say, you know what, that's wrong. Should not be subjugated to be in this bathroom.
But the law has made that happen.
But the law has made that happen, and now I've been victimized because so now you need to change it.
Okay, now it's interesting because I hear a little bit of a flip.
And that's where there you go.
Because his challenge has nothing to do with sex at all. First,
nothing at all.
There's no sexual innuendo, grooming issue at all, and his challenge is saying, okay, well, if you're going to identify me as a gender-born woman for the rest of my life, then I'll use this restroom.
And you get what you asked for.
And you get what you asked for. And if I poke you right in the eye, okay, that's that. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? He can't be arrested for his costume. And costume is not the right way. It is even not the right word. The dress presentation, he cannot be arrested for. There's no court. Come on. There's no court that's going to say in a speech defense that you can't be dressed.
But they no. So let's go back for a second. They will arrest him because he presents. James is a dude. So he is a dude. So the cop comes in the same way we had that joke about the red lights come on. The cops come in, they see James. He's getting in handcuffs. Now the situation changes when they take him to that room, and then I say let's have a conversation. If his ID still says male, he still is James until that other person comes in. They want to do that search is when things changes. And the law changes when Faye, I'm just going to use you because you're at the table with us, but where Faye is the outcry that says, hey, why is he in my room? Why is he invading in my space? I don't have the freedom to be who I'm supposed to be. And then her cohort come together, her colleagues, each one tell one, and then they go to now Florida, the state legislator, in Jacksonville and Tallahassee, I'm sorry, and they now complain and say, hold on. You told them to come into our bathrooms. We don't have any sanctuary. You need to fix this. And that's only how change happens. And that's only how the civil rights change.
There was a very good article about red shirt, and basically the theme of the article was red shirt. And it was an embracement of the bathroom controversy for a trans community. Legislators cannot say you can't be in a room because you wear a red shirt. You can't do that. It's not defensible. The court's not going to allow you to do it. You might get a crazy judge that says that's acceptable, but as it begins to appeal, it would be defeated. This is the exact same thing. You can't tell the male presenting trans man you can't be dressed the way you are and simultaneously say you can't be male. You can't do both things. And so if you're going to enforce the letter of the law, which is the literal interpretation of what you just called Faye out, she's a biological woman. Okay, if you're going to define the male presenting trans man as a biological woman, you can't get the no red shirt also. Yeah. You can't get both. And as a result, your entire political stunt collapses.
Because you can't police a feeling. You can't police who I am. You just can't.
I hope he does it, and I hope and do it also, because it would send a message, right?
Let's talk about history. For us of an age, we remember ACT UP, and it's very controversial even now in LGBT. Some people look back on it and think it was a terrible form of protest, and there are others that say it was the only protest that we had because people were just dying by the thousands, and we felt like there was no visibility for us at all. What do we think about the ACT UP model, which is really what's also behind this? He may not realize it or may not think of it that way, but that's really...
To be real protest, it has to be disruptive. You're not protesting if you are not ticking somebody off, making somebody very uncomfortable. So I really like the route that he's going with this. And I have been arrested for my activism before, but at the end of the day, the cop ended up getting in trouble for it. So I think that there's, put yourself out there, because we are moving forward, and I think that you will get taken care of eventually.
Does everybody agree with that? Or anybody disagree?
No,
with that?
I agree with him. I'm just, again, still afraid of the bathrooms. I'm still afraid of the bathrooms. You know what I mean? Because it goes from arrest to, like we said, you end up on some shit
and you should.
Schools because
you absolutely
what do they call? What did you get arrested for when you were outside showing your thing? What's it called?
Indecent proposal.
Yes. Okay. Well, then they can put that on you. You know
and that's
cops are like that. Cops don't give a shit about ruining your life.
And they don't.
They really don't.
And so I know we're turning into a bashing situation, but our governor has set up in such a way, and again, we have to realize what he was doing when the Black Lives Matter came about, and he made it so it's illegal to protest and those kind of things. He targeted black folks. And he knew that the moment he got us and no one said anything, then he could then go to the LGBT. And so the thing is, to your point, they can take our jobs, and federal jobs alone, the moment, regardless of whatever it is, you have something on your record, you can lose, you can never get employed. And so it has to be a situation in which the feeling you can't enforce. Like, you have to be able to be in a situation where when you go into the judicial courts and they say, hold on, it's a feeling, we cannot support this, it has to be thrown out, then our jobs are safe. But unfortunately, the cops are going to see a black person, a trans person.
Last question I want to ask, kind of polling. Do you think the LGBTQ community and what we've watched through this legislative session, what we watched in 22, what we are watching in 23, we now have a presidential candidate. We have 2 Florida presidential candidates that
Good
are,
point.
depending on how crazy you think they are, one may be crazier than the other.
Good point.
Is the LGBTQ community going to respond to the perceived 5-alarm fire, even to the point of protest and I'll risk arrest? Are we going to do it?
No.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about community broadly.
No, absolutely not.
I would think we would before the community. I mean, that's unfortunate. But I mean, our community is very delusional when it comes to a lot of things, and out of sight, out of mind. If they're not being affected by it right here, right now, they forget it and they move on to happy hour.
And I'm gonna say no until the Prescovi, the drugs that keep you safe are snatched away.
You're right.
And that's only when PrEP is snatched away and drugs to sustain your life snatched away. That's the only time when we will see ACT UP in situations like that.
And we're heading that way.
And we are.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? It's a very small percentage that truly gets affected. Like, I'm sure James doesn't get a single word told to him when he goes into a bathroom. Those who aren't able to get these kinds of...
Those who are passing.
Yeah, those that are passing. Those who are not, who don't have the means to get the surgery or to get the drugs, that aren't passing, those are the ones that are bullied. Those are the ones that end up in the bathroom and then get kicked out. And unfortunately, those of us who are affected and those who are passing, are just going to move on with their lives.
And that's why he's fighting.
It's smaller and smaller and smaller of a percentage that's willing to protest.
But regardless, it is our community. It is our duty to support our brothers, sisters, and everyone else.
Think about it. It's 2023 and nothing big has happened in our community since fucking Stonewall. How many decades is that, boys?
There we go. Then that's our hot topic of the week. What are you willing to do, including breaking the law, to help fight for our rights? The verdict is still out. All right, well, let's do something a little lighter.
Por favor, let's have sex.
Let's have some Bagadi. Some Bagadi.
Let's have a playful conversation about sex with our game that we have played called Shag, Marry, Chop. It is sponsored by Andrew Christian. AC, as we affectionately call Andrew Christian, is the world's most recognized sexy fashion brand. For men, iconic names like Trophy Boy, fashion wear, swimsuits, and underwear are just the start of the Andrew Christian brand. It was founded by and dedicated to the LGBTQ plus community, and Andrew was selected as a prestigious Out 100 recipient. Very interesting to me that Andrew Christian has become a status symbol for straight men wanting to adopt the style that the queer community, especially queer men, represent. The brand's support of our LGBTQ plus community is unparalleled through pride events, major parties, our charities, and so much more. Andrew Christian's presence in pop culture, entertainment, trending video content, and so much more is why Andrew Christian is our sponsor of Shag, Marry, Chop.
So if I call him AC on Saturday, is he going to punch me in the face? Is that something that you just call him?
No,
He wants
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I would have said yes.
Oh my God. This show has been
Right. All right.
The Bacardi.
Yes, call him AC. All right. Summer, here is our Shag, Marry, Chop. Summer has us in the mood to dance. So here are the hot guys we're dancing with tonight. Remember, we played this game since episode 1, almost 5 years ago. Chinese dancer and fashion designer Vincent Xu, I believe is how it's pronounced. Gorgeous House of Gucci member Kyrie Rebel Moore, and the Brazilian model Gabrielle Mansour. Oof. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. Cameron, let's start with you. Who are you shagging?
Normally, I'm not into femboys, and I don't really like, the skinny appeal, as I've mentioned before on the show. I like the big muscular bears, the hairy ones, the chubby ones. But Vincent Xu has just this charm about him, this cute and yet somewhat dominating effect I'm getting from him. So I'm going to shag him because I feel like he's going to femboy
we
ride
went
me.
deep there.
Right, yeah.
I
want to screw him because...
Oh, you don't know me. I always
So here's what we're going to do, step by step.
I gave my 30 seconds for my what's happening. Anyways, I want to marry Gabriel Mansour because that man blends a fragment of masculinity, femininity. Normally, I'm not into long hair, but something about me just wants to really take a grasp of that. I'm going to chop Kyrie. He's cute.
He's cute. I'm chopping him. Got it. And Elimination, who are you shagging?
So this is really hard for me because I know I promise you because the elements were very unique. So Gabriel had played a Monica song and he was jiggling to it, and that Monica song was one of my favorite Monica songs. So I immediately went to a favorite moment.
Sing it.
Do it.
I can't. I almost went there. I would not. Monica says the beat drop. It was the beat drop. No, you will not embarrass me. So I am going to shag. That was a good ride. You almost got me.
I wanted to use like popcorn.
I thought about it. And I was like, oh no. So
you almost did.
You got me there. I do want to shag Vincent. I think something about him is a little sexy. And I just want to see what he would look like while he's taking the emotional part of the elimination. I want to see how he reacts and the noises and the things that he would do as he's taking the elimination to be done with him. I definitely want to marry Kyrie. I think we could have lots of fun babies. Yeah. I think that we would have beautiful babies. And he has, oh my gosh, he has baby making hips, the way he kind of does his little aerobics and all that kind of stuff. And Gabriel, again, that Monica song hit me to my spirit, but I would love to see what his hair looks like while you're choking him and like pulling it back and kind of do some things.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so that is my chop.
All right, and Mark, who are you shagging?
I can't believe I have to follow some of y'all on this. I would shag the Brazilian Gabriel as long as he put that shit up in a man bun and did not dance. Oh. And then we could shag. I'm not a super big fan of the dancing, but he falls in the shag category. Mary is definitely going to be Kyrie from Gucci. Not only does he have the moves, Look at that fucking room.
What moves?
It's quite
Look at the move. Look at the room.
He looks fun.
He looks fun. He looks fun.
That is
he got a hot pot on him. Come on now.
Material.
Absolutely.
And
All
yeah,
day.
I would
With the futon that he's dancing next to?
It's a
That's
clean
marriage.
futon. And look at that floor. It is spotless. Marriage material right there.
I assure you should listen to Faye carefully, because if one thing that we've learned over the years from Faye, she smells the money. So when she says, "Do you see that futon?" you should listen to the Faye.
100%.
Yeah, we maybe got different.
And your chop is?
I got to chop Vincent. Is anybody who wears more makeup than me, which is a very liberal standard. Let me just tell you.
It's not a beer that
No,
makeup.
he's not for me.
And Jonathan, who are you shagging?
I'm honestly, I'm only going by the dancing because I don't know anything. And if I had to go with the dancing,
No, wait.
You don't like any of their dancing, do
Wait,
you?
before you choose, are you a good dancer?
Yes.
Oh.
He's a great voguer.
I know.
But is Vogue
Aside
dancing?
from-
or-
no, but he's dancing. He's a dancer.
Wait,
No, no, no.
wait. Okay, so you're getting ready to pick
I
based on
challenge you, let's
dancing.
go.
Is great dancing an indication of how good you're going to be in bed?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
explain to you why, because there's rhythm that goes with it. Like if you're in a weird, awkward position and you're not like, you're not
Wait,
pumping
what?
it in the right way,
that's
then you're not
bottom
hitting the
weight,
spot, then you're not going in deep that you need to get it to. And if I need you to go left, you ain't going left, then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Ooh,
You don't like pillow
So-
fights,
sounded
do you?
painful there. I kind of.
Well, all I know about pain is pleasure sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Let me get you a L shape. So
Wow.
So I'm gonna
We're still there.
shag Mary Jo. So I'm gonna shag Vincent, because Vincent's definitely got some moves. I don't like the makeup too much, but I do like the little hair toss he's got going on. So I'm gonna shag. I think it's gonna be a good time. I'm definitely gonna marry the Brazilian Gabriel. Like
Yeah.
Gabriel,
See,
if
that's
he's
my reaction too. Why did no one else at the table have that reaction except you?
because he is tossing his hair.
And you like
people? No, people aren't feeling the tossing hair. No, I don't. I could tell.
I can do the hair.
Onto it. So.
all day.
Man bun.
Can you imagine why he's doing number one, the oral?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you just
Yeah, but people aren't feeling this shit that he's doing. Like this. Like,
All right.
so just
Next
keep it calm. Like,
was
stop
cute.
breaking neck.
No, it was cute.
And then I'm gonna, unfortunately,
Did you
like,
say stop bringing neck.
stop breaking neck.
Oh, breaking neck. I was gonna say.
You break your
It's
neck.
not a
mama.
Glee audition.
Oh my God.
Poor Kyrie, because Kyrie, I'm sure, coming from the house of Gucci, I'm sure has some moves, but this is an embarrassing video. Like the whole setup behind them.
The IKEA behind him.
The IKEA behind it. Oh.
I'm telling you, boys, you should
Wow.
listen to the Faye.
No, these are some
What
true
she's
color
talking
stuff
about.
right here.
Oh my.
I didn't know that we were on a green screen
Yeah.
internally, too.
Yeah, exactly. Now you do. Don't make that mistake
Anyway,
again.
I'm sorry,
All right,
Kyrie. I'm
and
sorry.
Faye, where are you? What are you shagging?
All right, so I'm gonna shag Kyrie. He's just gorgeous, and he's part of the House of Gorgeous Gucci, like my playmate on the FayWhat show, Jamal L. Starks, and they're both just beautiful boys. I would just eat meals off their asses. So he's who I'm shagging. I even let him shag me. All right, and I'm gonna marry Vincent. Okay, I'm gonna marry Vincent because bend me, dress me, and do my makeup, bitch. We'll be married forever. I mean, think about it, right? And I'm topping the hair guy because it's just too much hair. I like to have the best hair in a relationship, you know.
Nah, he's definitely got better hair than you.
And and like I said, I like to have the better hair in the relationship. So no. So
He does got the neckography, like the hairography. He does have hairography.
God.
He
he
does.
does have great
He
hair.
does.
I
He has
dated a boy
hairography.
that used more hair
Hairography.
products than me, and it was just a bad time.
That's a
So
messy
I've
bathroom,
learned.
We are
I've
learning
learned.
so much about Faye, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're
Too
learning a
much,
lot
actually.
about Faye.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that? Faye is with the Cuban, and the Cuban, basically, my impression, I'm not sure this is true, but my impression is get away from me on the clothes and the hair and the makeup stuff, because the Cuban doesn't strike me as very interested in that. And so she's in love with the Cuban.
Because she's got money.
Okay. Medical that too.
And does not have Apple
She can
TV.
swim. Hold on. I love the Cuban. The Cuban is gonna save both of our lives. So we're gonna hang out. We're gonna keep the Cuban because neither one of us can swim. We like, how do we save both of us at the same time?
I think it's an interesting flip when Faye gets into the boys, because when she gets into boys, she wants a boy that is going to make her hair great, her clothing great, her face great.
Everything she's missing at home. Everything she's missing at home. What are you talking about?
The gay boy, and literally the girl turns the gay boy.
Absolutely.
Exactly what every girl wants.
Bingo.
Yeah, there it is. I think that's super interesting. All right. Well, with so much shagging, marrying, and chopping, let me remind you of what we love about Andrew Christian.
It's all about us. It's all about us. As we're dancing close together, making out, making out. It's all about us. It's all about us. There's some magic in your eyes, can't get enough. I can't get enough. Oh, it's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. It's all about us. Time to go home. Don't want this night to end. Yeah, about time we stop pretending. Come home with me. Let's write a history. Tonight I'll make you see. It's all about us. It's all about us. We're dancing close together, making.
Well, thank you, Andrew Christian. Well, that's it. Another week with It's Happening Out. You sat right here at the LGBTQ plus kitchen table as we kiki on the things that we think are important in our LGBTQ plus community. We invite you to follow our 501c3 nonprofit experiment. Is our LGBTQ community important to you? Our mission at Hotspots Happening Out means that we deeply believe it is. Thank you for joining us and taking a little time to have some fun with us. Remember, if it's important to you,
It's happening out. Hasta luego.
Right.